You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Are you feeling lucky?
Alright! Okay. Welcome to episode 1 of Feeling Lucky. This is going to be, for sure, the first episode that we put out on Hops News. This has been a long time coming, I feel like. When did we do the interview? We're gonna cut almost immediately to an interview that we had with Henry from Mobcraft and Chris from BottleShare. Shout out Mobcraft. They were super great hosts. I mean, we couldn't ask for better hosts, honestly. Awesome. We were there for like 3 or 4 hours.
That was it?
It was a long time. We hung out there for a long time. We have like a 45-minute interview coming up with the both of them where we just sat down and shot the shit, Feeling Lucky style, which you guys will get to know pretty quickly. So anyway, I should introduce you guys. On my left is...
I'm JJ. That's it. That's all you got.
All right, he's got no other intro.
Man of mystery.
JJ.
JJ, the man of mystery.
We'll see what Wikipedia says about you.
Oh, I can't wait to see that page.
On my right...
I am, what they call me, producer. I did not pick that name. I don't really agree with that name.
It was given to him from like a very young age. He didn't pick it. It's just been his name forever. As far as you guys are concerned. As far as you guys are concerned, it's been forever.
You think my Wikipedia page is
just you wait.
Yeah, oh my god. Name like Producer Beef, I can only imagine.
Yeah, speaking of
which
which,
animals are putting out there.
Cannot wait to make that page.
So, yeah, I was going to say, JJ's got it pulled up right now, what we're doing for Producer Beef. So anyway, this is going to be the first episode
Porn
of
star,
Feeling Lucky.
what?
Better call him Beef or nothing.
Just saw it was for the biceps.
Just slinging that beef. Anyway, we're going to cut right away to the interview with Henry and Chris. Chris from BottleShare, Henry from Mobcraft. We are promoting, throw it up, the Believe in Beer collaboration that's going on between BottleShare and Mobcraft. It was super awesome. We went to the release party. This is going to be distributed nationwide. So pick it up if you can, support it. It's an awesome cause. You'll hear all about it in just a second. So you guys know this is the first official, this is episode 1. Episode 1 of Feeling Lucky. We got greenlit. We posted the episode 0, the pilot, to Hops News family. Shout out to you guys. And we got the green light somehow.
That's the magic that we got green light, to
And
be
I tell you what,
honest.
I'm really honored and flattered to be a part of the very first episode. Thank you guys so much for including me. Seriously.
You are not honored. We are honored. We are honored. Chris and Henry here. This has been an absolutely crazy day. We are wrapping up the release party of the Believe in Beer collaboration between Mobcraft and BottleShare, and you guys have been absolutely phenomenal. Henry, talk a little bit about Mobcraft first.
Cool. Well, before I even talk about Mobcraft, I want to segu because all of our all of our glasses are empty. So I got 3 stouts, a sparkling agave wine, and a lager. Because we're in Wisconsin.
And a lager.
I like it.
So,
It's good stuff.
you want to try a little beer first? Or do you want to just go straight to the sparkling agave wine?
Hell yeah.
All right. I don't have a bottle opener, which is not good.
We'll
So I'm
figure it
gonna
out.
just. I don't know if you can do a cork this way. But anyway, I'll tell you all about Mobcraft. So Mobcraft started way back in 2013. We launched as a crowdsourced brewery.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do this. We're gonna have to start. Like I tried that little knife. So there's a little gear beer.
Beef starts off.
Sure.
Crowdsourced brewery. So we basically run by the tagline of turning ideas into beer.
Yep.
Every month it's something new that beer fans across the U.S. have submitted to us, and it's really pushed the gamut on what you can call beer. Brewed everything from a barley wine with dates and vanilla beans and brandy barrels to a durian and cashew pilsner.
Yeah.
One more time.
Yeah.
A
Say it again.
durian, the world's stinkiest fruit,
Yeah.
and cashew. Pilsner.
I've heard of Darien. That's what it's called.
Durian.
Durian.
Yep.
I've heard of that, but I've also heard
It's so
it's good. Okay.
I mean, so the fruit itself stinks, but the smell in that fruit is sulfur compounds, which have a really low boiling point for those to volatilize off. And what's left behind is this tropical mango custard, delicious thing. And
Sounds big.
Wow, I'm sold.
I know, right? You have that here?
no, that was like a 2015 batch. So, anyways, after that, we opened up the brewery that we're in right now in 2016. So in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Shout out.
When we started, we were shipping beer all across the U.S. So we had direct-to-consumer sales in about 36 different states, monthly crowdsourced beers. We'd go out with 4 packs of bombers to people. Then we kind of got told that wasn't legal, so we had to stop that. Did a little pivot, started making some flagship beers. We took everybody's favorite crowdsourced beers and we brought those back as the ones we made over and over again.
Which ones are those?
So we've got Batshit Crazy Coffee Brown Ale, make that all the time.
Batshit Crazy was getting a lot of love on Hops News. That's the one that I sent out to my co-host.
Okay.
I sent out that in Milwaukee. 2 of my favorites that you guys have. But Batshit was getting a ton.
Nice.
Everybody has said, like literally everyone said it's the best coffee style we've had.
Is that a nitro? So we do it both on nitro and CO2. It's a brown ale. So
Brown ale,
coming in
sorry.
at 5.6. The reason that we brewed that beer for the first time, some gals I went to college with, Abby and Allie Murphy, wanted us to make, and this was like Henry. They wanted me to make a beer that featured coffee that wasn't as thick and viscous as a stout, because they weren't huge beer fans. They like wine, they like coffee. So I brewed this beer, threw in lactose, milk, sugar to give it a little residual sweetness, and then it all comes down to how you treat the coffee bean.
Okay.
5.6% ABV is the final, and when they tried it for the first time, they said, "Oh my God, this is batshit crazy." And they just decided.
There's the name.
Yep.
Can I ask you who does your can art? Because that was also
Sam Mack is our graphic designer.
Okay.
We also met her in college. She was in the graphic design school.
Gotcha.
I was in the business school. I said, we're starting a brewery. And I went to their class and said, hey, who wants to try and design labels? They did it as a class project.
That's
Each
great.
student designed 2 beer labels for one of the homebrews that we did. And Sam and Dylan had the coolest labels. So we started working with both of them. And then Sam came on full time in, I think, 2015 or 16. So, I mean, it's amazing. She is such a talented artist. And now that we're launching more things other than Mobcraft beer, it's so much fun seeing her just blossom. Like, we've got this agave product. I mean, this is not beer, it's an agave wine. So it has nothing to do with Mobcraft, but we ferment it and it tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
So she's designing those. We're launching a cider brand soon. So she launched that whole design. And yeah.
very cool, man. So
Gent.
to your right, this is Henry, by the way. I think we introduced him.
On the live feed, we introduced him.
Henry Schwartz, everybody.
On his right, we have Christopher
Christopher Glenn, student body president. How you doing?
So you guys are working on a collaboration. That is what we are here celebrating. We've been celebrating all
Well,
day.
you get the story. I'm gonna go get one of them. So we can probably crack and pour it on. The
Yep, that would be great. That'd be great.
And maybe a corkscrew.
No, I'm gonna just get a screw. It's a brewery, not a winery. I'm not corkscrews here. Actually, we probably do have a corkscrew.
So Chris, tell us a little bit about Bottle Share.
Man, bottle share. So there's a couple of things that I really want to accomplish long term with bottle share. First off, I always make sure that people know through our energy, through our vibe, what we're doing, how we express ourselves, is that we're not here to mourn tragedy. We're here to celebrate life. We want to have fun. We want to make people smile. We want to provide people with hope where they wouldn't have it anywhere else. Right? So if you're going through a seriously traumatic time in your life and you think this is it, this is the lowest of lows, we got you. We want to put a smile on your face. We want to give you something to celebrate. And so that's a ton of positivity. That's one thing. The second, I don't want to say most important, but it's very important to me. I want Bottle Share to be the most badass nonprofit organization on the planet, right? And we don't want to stop in the United States. We don't want to look. We're going to be colonizing Mars soon. There's going to be a brewery on there, and Bottle Share is going to be taking care of a worker one day up in Mars. So, and that's the thing is that
seats fly over.
With the wide angles.
And he was not kidding about the screw.
It's real good.
Also, shout out Milwaukee Tools, sponsor us.
Yeah. Oh, shout out Milwaukee Tool. I want more tools.
Yeah, right.
I love Milwaukee Tools. Oh man, like it's got a spot in my heart. They came back to Milwaukee, right? There was a conundrum about like shipping all the production off to overseas, and then it came back.
It's here. This is a total side tangent, but a girl that I was friends with.
Jeez.
Sorry.
What's wrong with everybody?
Well,
You guys are talking too
Can you
much.
tell us a little bit about the beer that we just had?
Oh, yeah, sure. Beer we just had. Gear beer. Lager. Testament to Andrew, my business partner's ability to be awesome. One day he said, I want to harvest a yeast from nature and brew a beer out of it.
Wow.
So
Wait until you hear this story. Be prepared. This is incredible.
So, little backstory on the history of Milwaukee beer. The first brewery opened in Milwaukee, 1836, 2 blocks that way. So Andrew thought, yeast has a really good chance of surviving any ambient environment. There might be yeast. So he scrubbed all sorts of walls and drains and just the whole area. Didn't find anything. So then our tour guide Dave brought in some 1880s sample bottles from beer salesmen that still had beer in them. Corks and everything. So we got syringes and we extracted the yeast from the bottom, tried to make beer out of it. Yeast was all dead. None of it would actually go through. Third attempt, Andrew gets a lead on a beer cellar that is condemned, but was a beer cellar that went defunct in the 1880s. So it was underneath the Falk Brewery, which is located in between here and Miller Park. They lagered all of their beer in there. The beer caves are about 55 all year long. So that yeast is just happy and thriving and munching on whatever the world gives it from, I don't know how that science works. So Andrew goes in there with his environmental swabs. He swabs 17 different spots around that beer cellar, like hard hats on and lights and everything. And he isolates a lager yeast out of that brewery. Or doesn't, sorry, before that we didn't know it was lager yeast. Isolates something that isn't mold. So any of his swabs he puts in UVA, which is universal beer agar, and it prohibits the growth of yeast and inhibits the growth of mold and other bacteria. So you can kind of use these augers to help select for things that are yeast that consume sugar, that create alcohol, that are beer. So we figure out that one plate is not mold, which was great. And then we didn't know if that was yeast or if it was a bacteria that had similar properties, or if it was ale yeast or lager yeast. So we did more trials, fermented it at ale temperatures, tasted like crap, fermented it at lager temperatures. Tasty. So we baked this yeast, and this is like, there have been 2 beers ever made with this yeast. The Gear beer, and then a collaboration we did with Working Craft over in Madison.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Gear beer.
Gear. Oh, and then the name Gear. So the Falk Brewery, once it burnt down in 1888, changed into the Falk Gear Corporation.
Gotcha.
And then that got bought out by Rexnord. So they were one of the first companies to introduce the gear, that cogwheel, to the world in the early 1900s.
Interesting.
And then Gear, it's spelled G-I-E-R because Andrew is German and his name is Gierzak, spelled G-I-E-R, and then beer because B-I-E-R is German for beer.
That's awesome. Boom. Well, man, learning some shit. I'm feeling lucky.
On to the beer of the day.
The release party drum roll.
This is the Believe in Beer Blending Barrels Edition #1, or BIBBBEN #1.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so this beer is a very fun collaboration. You guys talked about the premise behind the beer so far, right?
Yep.
This is built out of our barrel program, and when COVID hit, everybody's production really slowed down. We had a lot of really nice aged beers, and we often make blends of different barrels. So we thought, how can we turn the barrels that are full of beer that we're not selling right now because there aren't too many people buying kegs of beer into something that can go for a good cause. So we selected 4 different barrels, which were a sour amber, like a Flanders Red basically, a sour golden ale, a Brett golden ale, and then a mixed culture farmhouse ale. So Adam, tasted all of those different barrels.
So awesome.
He was talking about it earlier. He was talking about it earlier, man.
I mean, when Adam tastes barrels, he'll go through and pull, about this much beer out of each barrel. right? And then he'll mix those together in, you know, a couple ounces. It stays, it's all sensory to build something that is a good foundation for a mixed culture blended barrel aged beer.
Yep.
And then we were on an Instagram live, just kind of hooting and hollering, having a fun time, talking about what we could do to make this beer really fun.
Yep.
Settled on Georgia peaches and Door County cherries, taking the Georgia aspect, the Wisconsin aspect, putting those together. So 1,000 pounds of cherries, or 1,000 pounds of peaches, and 800 pounds of cherries went into this beer.
Whoa.
Cheers.
Yeah, first year.
Believe in beer, my friends.
Believe in beer. There's some beef down there. Give me
Yeah, you
some.
know, it's a weird world right now, and we love this industry. We want every brewery that's out there to keep churning. I mean, they're just such an important, pivotal part of our community. They're the craft brewery that we got to keep them rocking.
Yeah, so we've talked about this before. I think we all think it's so cool what you guys are doing. Like in a time of like total uncertainty, like what's going on. It's just like an unprecedented times. Like the fact that you guys came out with this and are able to do this for our community, our beer community, is just so crazy. So I can't thank you guys enough, and we love having you as the first guest.
Love it.
Yeah,
So-
Hall of Famers for sure.
What else we got?
Well, Chris, so you're not from the Wisconsin area. So
not.
tell us a little bit about your journey down here. What do you think of Wisconsin beer culture? What do you think of Wisconsin bars in general?
Lord Almighty.
Say no more. I mean, that we can cut right there.
Wow. I mean, I really. See you guys later.
You don't have to get too. You don't have to get too into it. But
Yeah,
like,
You never have to leave.
No. So here's the deal. I have had so much fun. This is legit happening.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's genius.
What I
Try it.
But the ingenuity of someone that builds a brewery.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
So I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, just north of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
This is my first time in Milwaukee. This is my first time in Wisconsin. It was my first time in Illinois when we went up to microphone.
Boom! Awesome pop.
Spread because
So, I have absolutely loved it. I have had such a good time. The people are so hospitable. Everybody's very friendly. You guys drink a lot. I mean, it is next level.
it's
When I went and had breakfast the other day, it was 9 a.m. I had a meat lover's skillet, and I ordered a Bloody Mary, and she asked me what I wanted as my chaser, and I was like, "What are we taking shots? Like Coca-Cola?" No, the chaser is beer. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. And so, of course, once I realized that this dream had come true, because in Georgia the laws, I think it's like 11:45 or 11:30, you can't actually serve alcohol.
yeah.
I
think it's like-
I can't wait to see what's going on here.
I don't know what's going on, but what do we got?
Hey,
here?
sir.
Oh my god.
A good momentum.
Wow.
Dude, no way.
So it blew my mind that I ordered a Bloody Mary and they said, would you like a chaser beer with that? And so the chasers are like this, right? Like this. But she was like, would you like the upgrade to a pint? And I said, absolutely. So,
Because why not? When in Rome, when in Wisconsin.
Wait.
Did
Yeah,
you know that in
Wisconsin.
Milwaukee you can get is it 60 foot? Wait, I don't even know. I think it's a 55 ounce Bloody Mary, 64 ounce Bloody Mary, and it has a fried chicken.
Sobelman's. That's
Yes,
Sobelman's.
you gotta use Sobelman's for sure.
That's available.
Shout out.
It's like 3 people's worth.
It's it's so. I think it costs like close to $100. It's like a lot of money,
Yeah.
but it's like it feeds an entire table.
it's the whole table. It's
pretty nuts.
I didn't know that chasers with Bloody Marys weren't a thing outside of Wisconsin.
No.
I thought that like
and I'm a military brat. I've
Yeah.
lived all over the world. I've never experienced anything like Wisconsin. It's really cool. It's so unique. It is so Wisconsin.
Yeah.
it's the best. I mean, that's the only way to describe
No
it.
other way to
honestly.
describe it. This place is amazing. I have fallen in love. I'm not gonna lie. This place is awesome.
Well, we'll have you back.
Yeah, 1,000.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
So how do you like Wisconsin? How did you grow up here?
I grew up live in Denver, but my mom's family's from Wisconsin. So every summer I
Real
come back to visit.
represent, baby.
Oh yeah.
Colorado, man, that's what.
No, the 720s. You were in Colorado too?
Yep, it's at the final leg of middle school, high school, 3 feeble
Where?
attempts at university.
Where in Colorado?
So Colorado Springs is where I went to high school, Rampart, and then transferred up to Air Academy High School, Air Force, and then moved up to Aurora, went to Metropolitan State College in Denver, and then drank away my tuition because
As you do, as one does.
it's Denver. It's a lot of beer in Colorado, obviously, and then finally moved up to Fort Collins. That's where I kind of buckled down and got serious.
I
Yeah,
grew up in Lakewood.
Lakewood, right on, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, you guys are the emptiest down on that end.
Yeah, so tell us what we got going on in
Beer's going down too good.
the unlabeled bottle.
Yeah, we make a lot of unlabeled bottle. No, I'm kidding. So we like fermenting things. You know, yes, we're a brewery, but you know, why not kind of experiment, play around with stuff? So this is a product called Agave Fizz.
Let me, before we
Yeah,
move on
we-
to this, I want to plug this. Believe in Beer. Absolutely fantastic. It's no
Yeah.
joke, one of the best sour ales I've had.
Thank you.
We all talk about, I was not a sour guy before I started like this hops news stuff, but boy have I turned. I think I was just drinking shitty sour beer. That's really what it was.
That is the issue because
Because this, like, I could drink
breweries
this
brew in
all
sour beer.
day. And on a
Honestly.
day like today where it's like, it's super hot out.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Did you hear me though? I said breweries brew in sour beer. A lot of the first sours that people try are beers that breweries that don't care as much about quality control said, oops, this one's sour, we're
And
gonna
so
label
they
it
just
sour and sell it.
call it a sour.
And
Maybe that's what it
I
is.
see what you are going to
Maybe
have
that's what it
the
is.
worst headache. You have, I mean, it's improper fermentation. Our sour program, it is as hard to get sour beers to have the right microbes as it is for clean side to stay clean. Because you can't just say, ooh, it's sour, I don't care what goes into it. Because then you get acetobacter, it tastes like baby vomit. You get all this nasty shit in it, and you still have to go through and treat it like, you know, like a very sensitive fermentation.
And
So-
I don't know about you guys, but I hate baby vomit.
Well, I mean,
Taste. You know,
to each their own. I mean,
It smells that way.
So plugging it one more time. It is. We're gonna put links out to it. Like I said, this will be in a blog.
Yeah, we worked really hard to try and get it far and wide. Instead of just making a small batch, we decided to make a very large batch.
Yep.
So this is about 1.5 times the size of our average batch that comes out. When we do limited release sour products, this is probably like 20 times larger than that. But we knew we had the opportunity to spread this far and wide. Again, the goal is to raise money for the industry right now. So we're working with Brew Pipeline to try and get this out to as many states as possible. So Brew Pipeline is a way that we can distribute beer legally to a bunch of different wholesalers in other states. So we should see this go to committed so far, Colorado and Florida. Georgia should be soon, and then wherever else from there. It could be anywhere else in the whole U.S.
Now there are some states where you can legally ship to, correct?
We can ship to Illinois, New York, Florida, Nebraska, Alaska, and Washington, D.C.
Perfect. So if you live in any of those states, definitely go online, check them out, see how you can get some beer sent your way because it is worth every penny.
Oh, yeah.
And if you find Mobcraft anywhere, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. So, I honestly forgot what we were talking about before that.
We were discussing the
new beer.
unlabeled, the triple X bottle.
Well, this has nothing to do with beer.
This is not.
I was gonna say, so we're drinking a wine, correct?
Yep.
It's agave.
Yep.
It's really good.
Whoa, that's really good. That's awesome.
Oh my god.
So it's a completely new thing. This is going to be called Agave Fizz. This is just the pilot batch version, basically,
Gotcha.
of it. But it's a sparkling agave wine. So the
It's
sugar is 100% organic blue agave, and it's no sulfites, non-GMO, all organic.
It's so crisp.
It's
It is.
so
It's so
good.
It's so crisp.
8.5%.
It's smooth as well.
8.5%.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would not have guessed.
And a good time.
We're in for a day.
Just so we're about to bunk in the brew house tonight.
I live like within walking distance, but I might just crash here.
yeah.
So we'll see.
Shout out to Uber.
Sponsor us as well.
So this was just fun to make something that was outside of beer. You know, it's, I mean, it don't get me wrong. It
So
is
this
very
is gonna
fun
be
making a
it's
beer.
gonna be sold at like by Mobcraft. It's gonna be
No, this is Agave Fizz.
Oh,
nothing to do with Mobcraft.
Okay.
We have, so the brewery is also a winery.
Yep.
So Agave Wine Company is the name of the winery.
Okay.
I mean, you won't be able to search that or find it or anything, but Agave Fizz, there's no socials for this yet or websites or anything. But
Okay.
it'll launch soon. There'll be a
Once it does,
whole new brand, whole new concept, whole new beverage. I mean, this is, I don't want to say this is going to be the next seltzer because it's a whole different
I mean, this
ballpark.
is like
But
way
when hard
better than
seltzers
seltzer.
came out, that was a new category of product. This is fermented agave. There's no, I mean, tequila is made out of agave.
Yes.
And
Love tequila.
back in the day in Mexico, you could get pulque, which was fermented agave juice. That was really milky and cloudy and
Why can't you?
I don't. There are some commercial examples of it, but it was much of a home fermented beverage, much like chicha in Peru. That you can buy a commercial chicha, but there are a couple of places that make it. Mostly, it's like, oh yeah, we just make chicha, which is our 4% ABV fermented corn.
Yeah.
Copy that.
So then, do you foresee this coming out in bottles or cans? Or
This will be 375 ml cans.
Okay.
Okay.
Weird thing. If you want to hear how weird alcohol is in the U.S., this is a 12-ounce can.
Yep.
I can't put that in there because the government says I can't. It has to be in wine-sized packages,
okay.
which are 500 milliliters, 375 milliliters, 1 liter, or 750 mil, or 1.5 liters.
Or a box.
Why? I don't know.
Or a box. Or a box. Or a box.
But those boxes are the same volume. It's 3-liter box.
Ah.
And then the taxation on it is crazy too. A cider or a still wine is taxed at 9 cents a gallon, and then this is taxed at it's 300 times more federal excise tax because it's carbonated.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
That's strange. I don't.
So
Well,
maybe-
I wrote our representatives; they just didn't write me back.
haven't heard back.
There's to you, Tammy Baldwin.
Shout out.
Shout out, Tammy.
Sponsor us as well. Why not? Here.
She's great,
It's fine.
but she just didn't write back to my email about wanting taxation to be lower. That's all right.
That's interesting.
I'm not overly frustrated. I mean, we are in the middle of a pandemic.
Might be bigger fish to fry, but also
Whatever.
legislation. Get on that. Let's fix that issue.
Come on, step it up.
So, while we have you here, do you want us to try anything else while you're here?
Oh, sure.
I mean, they're
Might as well.
they're out. I don't know.
Are you guys down for some 6-year Annie? 6-year anniversary?
Yeah,
beer?
let's do some 6-year anniversary. Why not?
I mean, this has been the best day of my freaking
Yeah.
life, just so you guys know.
I haven't opened one of these in so long, and I'm so excited.
Dude, that was really delicious.
Yeah, that was shockingly good.
So hopefully this is, I mean, completely different than Mobcraft. Mobcraft's Wisconsin only. If we can launch this, I mean, it's tough times right now.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. We need to make money to stay open. So hopefully we're launching this project and get take it to a much farther geographical reach.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be
It's
awesome.
delicious. I mean, you talk about seltzer. This is like I'm very hard against seltzer.
So
for
this
the most
is-
part, and this is so much better. But I would
This will have four varietals: strawberry, and this is all 100% organic juice, 100% organic strawberry juice, pineapple, lime, and vanilla.
Oh, that's gonna
They'll
be
come in a
nice.
little mixed 4-pack.
All right,
I've never been this excited for something to come out in my life.
That's good.
Ah, nice and dark. So you said we got some 6-year anniversary on deck. Tell us about the flavor profile. What's in it?
So our anniversary normally, well, it's canceled this year, just like a lot of parties. But this would have been our 7th year anniversary party. This beer is, the base beer is called Padishaw, and it's our house barrel-aged imperial stout. And then we kind of hand select specific barrels that we want to age that beer in. So 6-year anniversary was in Central Standard rye whiskey barrels. So it's just Central Standard's a local distillery.
It smells so good. Holy
I'm glad we let it warm a little bit.
boy.
That is good.
Yeah.
Beef, what do you think down there?
Oh my god. Got a loss for words down here.
I personally, I love Imperials. I love anything aged in whiskey barrels. I'm a big Dragon Mill fan. I love.
Nice. I love how the final burp on this though is just like a sip of coffee.
Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, it has
I
good
mean, you
coffee.
get roast on the front end,
Yep.
but then you definitely get like coffee bean on the burp.
Big time coffee bean fair.
Yeah, that is.
Absolutely.
I probably haven't tried this beer in like a year or 6 months.
Really?
So
Wow, you broke it just for us? What a wasted beer.
yeah, I climbed to the top of the cooler too.
We did that earlier. So,
I like it. All right, is this the time we leave you?
it's Out like a light, as someone said.
Yeah, so part of what we do here on Dear Lucky, on Feeling Lucky, is a segment called Dear Lucky, where we have viewers write in questions.
Keep them around for the first question.
Whatever.
Right?
Yeah, we keep them around for the first question.
Because
So
there's one that's Beer Central. So
Sweet, let's do it.
Cool.
we get
We'll be around for the first question.
Yeah, so this is where producer Beef shines.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, you can feel free to exit the brewery at any point during this conversation.
All right, this one.
First one shouldn't be bad.
This is gonna be from one of our viewers. It says, "Dear Lucky, at what age did you first start liking beer? And at what age would you say you started to become a beer connoisseur?"
Alright, so
I would never.
Does Natty Ice count?
there's a lot of years. A lot of years of shitty beer in there for sure.
So I'll ask you guys, when was your first beer? Do you remember what? This is something that they ask on Hobby Hour all the time. What was your first beer and what was your first craft beer? Do you remember?
I remember. Yeah.
Like it was the best day of my life.
You go ahead.
Well, my first beer was Bud Ice.
Hell yeah.
And yeah.
No,
There's always at least one in the crowd that says, hell yeah. when I say
Hell
it.
yeah, bro.
When you said this on Hobby Hour,
Yes.
and Hobby Mommy, that was her first beer,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
you guys bonded over it.
I'm going to do it every time, bro.
We're gonna get that as like a sound drop. We're just gonna like just Chris in the background. That's good.
Bring it up, bring it up.
Okay, so Bud Ice.
Bud Ice, I think I was 13. My uncle said, it's time.
Time to break him in.
Yeah.
Of course, it was my uncle, right?
Yeah.
We were going on a camping trip with my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. Thank God my mom and dad weren't there because it was a hell of a night and I wouldn't have been able to have this experience. So I picked it up because the bottle had those divots in it. It looked like a golf ball, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, that looks cool. And my uncle was like, are you sure?
At least he kind of
Yeah, I was
warned
like-
you before what you were getting into.
I was like, I don't know. Are you sure? What is this? Yeah, so we wound up picking up a 12-pack. I think I drank like 9 of them. And the camping site was right next to the Bud Ice.
At
My
13?
first
Holy!
time. So
Hell yeah.
the camping site was right next to the river, and we had these blow-up rafts. And I started getting sick, so they put me on the little raft. It wasn't on the water; it was it was on the land. So check this out. Okay.
We got props, ladies and gentlemen.
So here I am laying on my raft, and I would get sick. So they would come and put dirt over it, and then turn me like that. By the end of the night, I made 360-degree turn, a complete circle of death. Yeah.
I mean, that's what 9 Bud Ices will do to you.
Yeah, we got-
Have you had Bud Ice since?
Absolutely not.
That's what I like to hear.
You know, I bet that was their target demographic. Right off the bat, they were like,
Yeah.
how do we market to 13?
Yeah, for sure.
I think we can get like a dozen sales out of them before it's too much.
It's too funny. What about you?
My story is very different.
Do you enjoy it? You remember it?
No, because I was a good kid. I mean, not a good kid, but I didn't get into drugs or alcohol or anything like that growing up. But my mom, we grew up in Colorado, so we were back down in Denver. This is after we had moved to Wisconsin, but she still had a house in Colorado where my stepdad lived and the rest of the step family. So we were back there. I was probably 14 or 15, and she had a bunch of Old Chub in the fridge, which is Oscar Blues Old Chub. It's a Scotch ale. Well, 9.5% Scotch ale, 8.5.
Yep.
So she called it a happy beer, and she said I could have one. So that was, I think,
Alright.
I've told myself that was my first beer, or that was my first beer. It was an Old Chub.
That wasn't so different.
It wasn't like that.
No, and then there was a ginger.
It's the exact same thing. It's like the exact same thing. It's Bud
what we call
Ice.
responsible
Bud
drinking.
Ice.
It's
Probably the same ABV, yeah.
Probably.
But then after that, it was just like whatever blue UV you could get,
Yep.
and whatever like
yeah.
Natty Ice the college kid next door would buy you.
Oh,
And that was the majority of my high
The
school.
worst was partying in Madison, and you could get like a 30 rack of Natty, and you got like a bonus like 12 pack.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Every 30 rack that you bought, they would give you like another. It might have just been 6. Like
It was either a 6 or a 12. It was a small, but just enough. Like when you're like we were already strapped for cash. Like I'm gonna buy like basically the bottom and then get more beer on top of that.
Well, the best was Cool Light. That
Cool.
if
You're using the word best incorrectly.
No,
here, I think.
the best marketing scheme, because if you bought a quarter barrel of Cool, you got a tub and a bag of ice or something like that. Like that was their shtick. And a quarter barrel of Cool was like $30 or $25, something like that.
I've only had Cool Light.
You know how I know? Because when they went out, we bought all their kegs. And our delivery van was the Cool Light delivery van.
Cool.
The great guy.
Take on that marketing scheme. But let's see
No, I mean,
the assets.
talk about a crazy thing. Like when White Claw came around, they bought out all the extra capacity at the brewery in La Crosse, and that's where Cool Light was made. And now they just make a shitload of White Claw.
That's the only time that I had Cool Light was when I was up in La Crosse visiting. Because I don't know that I can find it down here. I don't think. I've never seen it.
Umlau. The U with the 2 dots. And then 2 L's, I think. Or 2
It was 2 U's, I think. Yeah, it was 2 U's.
Or 2 of something.
Cool. But that was the only time I had that. So, the question, I think we strayed a little bit from the question, but it was
Your first beer.
my first beer ever was Coors Light.
So, but before that, at what age did you start liking beer?
Yeah, so when did you start? I can't imagine you liked the Bud Ice. Did you really like
Did you like the Bud Ice?
enjoy the Bud Ice?
So drinking 9 of those, I can only assume you just didn't like yourself.
Yeah, for sure. It's 13 years of not liking myself.
That's what self-hatred looks like.
That's why you had 9 of them. All right.
No,
Glad we kept you guys on.
I hated it at first, but then by like the 6th beer, I remember thinking, this tastes like water. And I was never drunk. And it really did. It was just going down so easily and so much faster. And I remember my little sister, she's 2 years younger than me. She goes, stop acting like you're drunk. You know? You're not really drunk.
Whatever.
And then I think I
You've
might
only had 9 Bud Ices? Come on.
Yeah.
Not that drunk.
It's like in elementary school,
like-
you get like drunk off root beer and you're like, stop it, you're just acting.
Yeah.
But instead of root beer, it's
Frosty
9
Mug
Bud Ices.
Yeah, bring in a keg of O'Doul's and see how many people get wasted.
Wow. The dirty
Classics.
duels. The dirty duels. So my first beer was. Oh, you guys never answered. When did you first start liking beer? Because I think that I personally, I don't think I started like I drank beer for a long time. Like when I was in high school. Sorry, mom, dad. I was drinking beer, but I didn't like I was just doing it to get drunk. I started enjoying beer when I would say, I can't say when I got out of college, but when I got to college, that was when we once I turned 21, that was when we could do the brewery tours. That was a big thing, especially here in Milwaukee. There's so many good ones. Once you turn 21 and you don't really start appreciating it until you can afford it, because when you're minor or whatever, you can't really afford anything. But then once you're an adult, I think that's when I really started getting into it. So
Well, if
I
you start
would
a
say-
brewery, then you can't afford it either.
That's fair.
Except for your own beers.
It's your product.
Well, my wife and I were not arguing. The other day, I was just making a point to her that there was $300 worth of beer in the fridge.
I'm just making this
Are you contributing to the paychecks of our household? No. There's $300 worth of beer. It's all right.
You know what? I'll kill some of it. I'll get rid of some of it right now.
Oh no. That's a good thing that there's $300 worth of beer in the fridge.
Oh,
that's my contribution to our livelihood. The worst thing about her being pregnant was that she couldn't engage in all the fun.
Oh, it's a liquid ice.
But
Yeah, so just this morning we had Existence Mimosas. It was great because we launched Existence Mimosas during the COVID shutdown. We were like, well, what are we gonna do on Sundays? We started selling mimosa kits so people could get them and have their mimosa kits, and she didn't get to try it because she was pregnant. So we were able to have an Existence Mimosa.
I got you.
That's awesome. So yeah, I guess for those of you who didn't see our streams earlier in the week by the time you
Yeah, by the
actually
time
see this
this is
episode.
posted.
We have a brand new father right there.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
3 weeks.
3 weeks on.
It's crazy.
Wednesday.
And now he's just getting, you're probably not as drunk as we are, but
No, he's just enjoying some brews with friends.
I gotta go buy diapers and pick up a couple things at the grocery store, and then the rest of the evening with the family.
awesome.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Did we
We
answer the
have
question?
a bottle
yet?
opener at home.
Producer Beef,
I don't even know if you guys answered.
I don't know if we answered the question.
All right, so I'll answer. When I first started liking beer, I remember the moment like specifically because for a while I just forced myself to drink Miller High Life, champagne and beers.
Yeah, shit,
Yep.
magnet.
And like obviously like I would drink beer in college, but like I never enjoyed it. But I remember there was like one day I like sat down, really tough day at work. I was probably like 22. And I was like, fuck, I could really use a Miller High Life. And I was like, that's it.
Did it.
That's the
We
one.
did it.
You're now an alcoholic.
We
Welcome to
did
the
it.
rest of your life.
And ever since then, it's been a fucking black.
It's been a bender for sure, with varying levels of blacking in. But
It's good stuff. Producer Beef, what
yeah.
about you?
The first, okay, so obviously we all drank in high school. That's what we do. I mean,
That's
if you're
what
from
kids do.
Wisconsin.
well, speak for yourself,
If you're
right?
from
Child of
Wisconsin,
God.
If you're from Wisconsin, you drink in high school, all right? And I think I first started liking beer at about 16, 17 when I got drunk at a family party. And I was like, this is pretty cool. My cousin,
This is so much better than
Yeah.
like regular living.
my cousin used to brew his own beer. He had a condo in southern Wisconsin, kind of by Kenosha. And he brewed his own beer. And I got pretty lit at this family party. And I was like, this is it. I like beer. That's it.
That's it.
Sorry,
End of
Mom and
story.
Dad, you created the monster.
Whatever, man. I mean, that's how a lot of people in Wisconsin start. You can't blame us.
It's an acquired
I think
taste.
I honestly, the reason they ask the first beer and the first craft beer, my first craft beer was Spotted Cow, as I think most Wisconsin people do. Like that to me, literally, it feels like a domestic beer, just because it's everywhere in Wisconsin, and I've always thought
Only
like
in
you can go
Wisconsin.
only in Wisconsin, but it's everywhere. You can't like walk into a store, into a bar, without seeing Spotted Cow on tap.
And if you don't have it on,
But that was
get the
like-
rat. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's like a sin in Wisconsin. We don't have Spotted Cow.
For real.
But that was my first craft beer, and that was like when you were splurging on college beer for us. Like that was super high end. Like I just want to enjoy myself. I don't want to just hate on life after 30 days. But yeah, so that's first Dear Lucky.
Apple product only?
This would be a good time to start.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. We are?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back. Thank you so much to Chris and Henry. Chris from Bottle Share, Henry from Mobcraft. That was such... I can't believe we're recording. That was such an awesome weekend. It was such an awesome day for us. I literally have put it in like the top maybe like 3 days of my life. Just because like we were treated like royalty.
Well, what's 1 and 2 now? I have to ask.
Yeah.
Now we gotta know.
I don't know. That was stupid. It's probably number 1. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that because I can't come up with 2 on the spot.
Well, we just lived that. I want to say should have a life, but that implies we had a terrible time there, which we didn't. We had a blast. So
No, it was seriously awesome. Thank you guys so much. We are gonna get into we just finished up Dear Lucky with them, I believe, if I remember the interview correctly. We finished up Dear Lucky. That's gonna be a recurring segment on Feeling Lucky. The next segment we're gonna do is Barguments. So these are just gonna be random arguments that we have all the time at bars.
Just dumb shit.
Just dumb
Dumb
shit.
shit we talk about.
Just dumb shit that we talk about, and this is literally what we do anytime we go out and drink. Like we have someone usually has a question that like we just debate and we sit and
We usually drag
Talking
the other
about it.
person, the other people for it.
Oh,
Pick
yeah,
them
sure,
up with.
for sure.
1000%.
Some crews go out to pick a woman at the bar. We go out to just drag each other through the weeds for our stupid answers.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do.
That's what we do.
So we'll get into the first one. Producer Beef, let's go.
Gentlemen, welcome to the bargaining section.
Dude, we need some kind of music behind it. What kind of like music could we have behind Bargainments?
I don't think that's a conversation to have now.
Good call.
All right.
That's why you're producer beef.
All right, first one. If you got a free pass to commit any crime, what would it be and why? You get a free pass, no legal action. You're good. You're clear.
Any
What are you picking?
crime.
Any crime.
The easy answer is like bank robbery.
Yeah, I was gonna say bank heist.
That's like super easy because like I feel like robbing a bank isn't like, well, I work for a bank, so this maybe isn't the.
Well, I don't,
right
so I'm gonna go with bank heist.
That's so lucky lost his job.
Yeah, right. Tune in next week where feeling lucky is my only form of income, which is pretty minimal. Bank robbery. Do you got anything?
Well, so bank robbery is the obvious one, just because then you're kind of set for the foreseeable future.
And you get away with it. That's like the whole idea.
I'd like to steal a tank, and like if I get to keep it, that would be pretty badass.
See, if I steal the money, I can buy a tank.
But like
Depends what kind of bank you're robbing.
Yeah.
Like a
Well, I'm not gonna pick
big
fucking-
old, like.
You know, some, you know.
You have to, like, rob the
fuck
Swiss
nowhere
bank,
small town
right?
bank. You know?
Okay.
you
It's
gotta
gotta
rob
be,
like the
like-
Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
But then like if you buy a tank, the government's gonna come like kick your like door in because I'm pretty sure you can't legally own. I guess I don't know the legality on tanks, but I would
Yeah.
imagine
What
that
about?
you can't do it. But like if you stole one. Or like a fighter jet. I have no idea how to fly, but crashing one of those would be a wild time.
Yeah, once you get up on one of those, I don't think you can get back down.
I'd be surprised if I get off the runway. Just right off the end of the runway.
I know this is a conversation we've had before, and I feel like this is someone else's answer. But what about just setting something on fire?
Arson?
I don't know what.
Well, they did it to the city of Chicago once. It's a beautiful place now.
You know what? Fair enough. But that would be. I've never like, other than like starting a fire in a like a fire pit. I don't know, like setting like a house or like some kind of building and just watching it like go up in flames. Obviously, we don't want people in it or anything like that. But like,
Just set something big on fire.
just set something huge on fire. How much more powerful can you?
Or
feel?
like one of those demo people that I guess to blow
Yes,
up the building.
that would be
Like if I could
so
take down
sick.
like a skyscraper, that would be.
I have gone down so many of those rabbit holes, like just buildings being blown up, like whatever they're. I forget what they're called. Like there was one in Milwaukee. I want to say last summer, the summer before.
Yeah, the Bradley Center.
The Bradley Center. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. The Bradley Center. Shout out Fiserv Forum, Milwaukee Bucks. When they blew up the Bradley Center, I was living downtown, and I didn't know about it going on, so I didn't get to go and like watch in person. But I for sure found the video after because we heard a huge bang. It was like on a Saturday morning. Heard like a huge bang. It's like, what the fuck was that? We went online and I just watched it on repeat because it's like a building I've been in so many times growing up, and just
weird.
something about just watching it like crumble to
Collapse.
the ground.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
But it's also
So-
it's weird. Like that's been there for our whole lives, and we've been there hundreds of times. It's just gone.
1000% for like concerts, for Bucks games, Admirals games.
Wish we could say that about our high school.
Next time,
Maybe that's what I'll use my one freebie on.
yeah, right.
Blowing up our
Go in
high
on a Saturday and just blow up the. We won't say where we went to high school, but
Yeah.
that'd be pretty funny.
school. That'd be cool.
Anything else?
I think something else I would be just really.
If it could be like a get out of jail free card,
Also, you just gotta do things to get caught, and you just get to hand it in. Like being like a
eventually I'll for sure get caught for tax evasion because I'm an accountant and like that's what they teach you in accounting is like how to get around
the
stuff
first
like that.
IRS audit, which is coming this
Yeah.
spring, baby.
Coming to the 2020 year.
Imagine that all the shadiness that's happened in 2020, just to top it off with a little IRS action.
Yeah.
But if I had a get out of jail free card, that wouldn't be a terrible thing. Like I know
Most stimulus checks
eventually.
are taxable.
I think that's something that I would for sure use. Using it for some, I don't know.
I also
what
think
else?
like if you could somehow cash it in to be like the crime boss of like a syndicate, that would be kind of cool.
I think in another life I was like a drug lord.
I thought you were
I
going
would
to say El
love to
Chapo.
be-
Thought you were going for it.
El Chapo's still alive, I think.
He probably is.
Shout out El Chapo.
I'm not up to date on who's alive in
Yeah.
federal
I
penitentiary.
feel like I should know that, but whatever. I feel like I would love to be a drug lord. Not like I don't want to be involved in
Yeah, you can't
the
smoke around
killing and
supply.
like ruining people's lives, but it would be pretty fun.
Let's just all be honest here. Whenever anyone watches a TV series as an adult, you always identify it as the villain, right? You're always like, oh, that would be like this motherfucker's got it going on.
Yeah,
that
you're
would
like,
be.
yeah, I kind of understand that. Yeah.
I can kind of.
There's a reason why the like anti-hero is such a big thing right now.
For
Just because
sure.
like I think everyone feels it.
You just
You can
want
relate
that
to it,
amount
you
of
know?
money. You want like that amount of power.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You want to go to jail? I just think of Narcos. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's what comes to mind.
Oh, that's super good.
But when he's sent to jail and he just lives on his own estate basically for a really long time.
Yeah.
That's like, I would love to have that power. That'd be so cool. Like, yeah, I'm in trouble, but I'm just gonna like live. That'd be fun. So maybe
I
like
love sitting there fantasizing about the idea of like being all powerful, and
If
so
I
I
could
could
do,
do
like-
that because like the kitchen's dirty. Brought right back to reality, baby.
Gotta keep you in check.
for sure.
Yeah, shout out to my roommate.
All right,
All right,
that's
guys.
good. Anything else just before wrap it up? Probably not. Right? That's.
I think that's
I think we're all going for money.
yeah.
Or stealing
all
something.
around. It's got to
Or
be something.
Yeah,
something.
the logical answers were all just robbing
A bank.
a bank
A
for
heist
sure.
of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big bank that doesn't affect people.
All right. On to the next. All right. Next argument. How much money would it take for you to stop drinking alcohol for 1 year?
Oh,
1 calendar year,
Well,
365 days.
So I'm gonna start this by saying that like 2 weeks ago, I tried to go sober. I was like, you know what?
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
for what?
I made
just
it
forever.
Just to be, so someone else I know was trying to be sober for a little bit, just for their general health. And I was like, you know what? I'll be supportive of you. I'll do it with you. I made it 2 days, and then I realized it's like a fundamental aspect of my personality, and it's a tough realization to have.
We're not promoting alcoholism.
No,
here on Hops
but-
News, but like
The idea
obviously we're Hops News. We love drinking beer. That's
And, like,
how we all came together.
you don't realize how many things you do that you drink during as an adult until like you sit there and you're like, oh, I was gonna drink here.
I 1000% think that I could do anything. You could literally give me any task, and if you like say you can drink beer while you do this, like this is really bad. But going to church, like, can you imagine being able to drink a beer at church? I would not
Oh,
miss
dude,
a Sunday.
if church
I
had a
would
bar,
not
dude.
miss a Sunday.
Imagine instead of the little shot glasses of wine, you got the whole bottle. You walk through the door. I'd be there every fucking Sunday.
Literally
Oh,
every
yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
We should
Churches take notes.
We should maybe cut this and like start a church that just serves alcohol. And you go and you just get super shitty wasted.
Could you imagine?
You know.
Could you imagine producer Keith officiating a service, hammered?
He would be in that outfit right there.
Yeah, I mean,
With
the
the
tank
fuck-
top
with
and the
the cutoff.
fucking brewer's cut. Like, brewer's
In
hat.
the blood of Christ.
That's great. How much would it take for a full year?
Well, see, like, when I think of this question, it's like, okay, what's something I really want? You know, like, how much money would it take for me to get that?
Yeah, like say like you really just want a really nice house.
Yeah, or like a really nice car.
Would you be able to be sober for a year for that?
Because, like, if
No.
you said,
There's like, he says that, there's nothing that I want that much.
JJ, what's your dream car?
It's got to be a Lamborghini Huracan.
Lamborghini Huracan. So, how much do those run?
Probably like 300, maybe somewhere in there.
300 million?
300K.
300K.
300
Yeah.
million. Jesus.
They're Lamborghinis, man. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so if someone said, hey, here's $300 million for a brand new Lamborghini Huracan, the only catch is you got to stay sober for a year, would you take it?
300 million.
Or 300,000.
We'll see. Like, so this is.
300,000.
I
That's a
have
big
to weigh. I have to weigh how much I like hanging out with my friends. Because, like, really, if I'm going sober, I'm not going to do anything. So I'm just going to be stuck in the house for a year.
But you could drive
And
a Lamborghini.
so realistically, I think $2 is what it would take for me to not hang out with you guys.
All right, man. Jesus
All right, well, fuck you too.
But no, I don't need everybody like, this isn't the pilot. This is the first episode. We don't need people knowing that like we hate each other.
Yeah, I guess so. Cat's not that big. Sorry.
Say that for episode 2 at least.
But no, I if you guys wouldn't be assholes about me being sober, I would do it.
No.
Like voluntarily?
For a Lamborghini.
Oh, for a Lamborghini. So
Yeah.
like 300K, that's your cutoff?
Yeah, I say so.
That's your minimum?
I don't know. I for sure think like I'm of the mindset if I stop drinking, I could be like a superhero. like that's the only thing not Clark not back is that bottle of Cazadores in the fridge. It's a little far-fetched, but you know what I mean? Like I just can't even imagine. Like I function. I have like a full-time job. I function. I have a full-time job, get a salary, and I drink a lot. Just cutting that out of my life.
Yeah,
What can't I do?
You'd be a CEO, right?
What can't I
You'd be
do?
a fucking CEO.
That's
I'm just
like
laughing.
maybe that's just me not realizing that like everybody drinks all the time. You know
Yeah, I
what mean?
wonder what percent of people like just drink constantly. I feel like it's gotta be higher than you think.
Not
it
even
is.
constantly, but like
I
think,
people
like-
don't drink.
everybody drinks once a year.
Oh, for sure.
At least.
And
But,
like,
like-
this is the like to go a full year.
So I was like trying to think of like what would be an average amount of like drinking and compare it to my life. And so like obviously, we'll start at the start of the week. Monday, I golf. So I'm gonna have 2 or 3 beers, a couple shots during that.
Yep.
Tuesdays, I usually don't do anything, so I won't drink then. Wednesdays, trivia, drinking. Thursdays, volleyball, drinking. Friday, drinking. Saturday, drinking. Sunday, brunch, baby. So really, we got one day a week.
Bottomless mimosas, and that's when I black out at like 6 o'clock.
So we got one day a week that I'm not consuming alcohol. And that sounds really bad now that I've laid it out.
I was gonna say like when we shot this, but you were on Happy Hour recently, which is on Tuesday.
so
I'd be on that if you weren't drinking. That's
By that logic, it's definitely been like a, almost 2 week bender?
just I don't like.
Film is on Tuesday too, so I'll keep going until next Tuesday. And we'll
What
see.
do you think people that don't drink do for fun?
Read books.
Yeah, probably.
For fun.
Read books.
My mom drinks. Shouldn't say that,
What
but
is
my
Lucky's
mom
mom?
does drink. She reads all the time. She's a reading specialist. She drinks literally all the time.
I'm sure people that don't drink are just like stupid, like fit, and, like go to the gym all the time.
yeah, you're either really
like-
That's a good argument. Like
Zero
you could
Or
take
you're
a
really
year
depressed.
off. You
You're
could
one of
take a
those
year
two.
off and get absolutely shredded.
You
Like
can,
that's
yeah.
all you could do, really.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
my mentality, that's literally the only thing that you do
Because like
outside of drinking.
more, I mean, like alcohol itself, if you like, you can still like stick to like low calorie alcohol and still like maintain a physique. But if you get fucking super fucked up every Friday, Saturday night, you're gonna want that greasy breakfast. You know, you're gonna want that drunk
1000%.
food. That's where all the calories come
Okay, there's
from.
more than just the drinking. It's all the other
Right.
things around
Exactly.
it that like add up.
Exactly.
It's the lifestyle.
But you
It's
can't
like,
lifestyle.
you're not hitting the gym after work on Fridays because you're
Because
getting
you're going to the
drinks
bar.
with the boys.
And you're too
right,
hungover the
yeah,
next
yeah,
morning to go to
yeah.
the gym or work out. So
And then by the time you're feeling good, you're drinking again.
Exactly.
It's called Wisconsin.
Yeah.
All right, final amount. Producer beef.
What are you thinking?
Oh fuck! Not giving me a drink for an entire
A
year.
year, one whole calendar year.
Yeah, I could probably do it. I could probably do it for the right price.
And what is that
Give me
price?
the price.
I'm gonna say 1 million.
See, now I think that's a little bit. I think that's ridiculous. I
But
think
if you-
I think if I offered you 500,000 to be sober for a year, you'd do it.
No, see, I think
Yeah, you're probably right. 500,000.
that when I hear 1 million, I think that's low. I think it has to be 1 million's obviously like it's life-changing money for us.
Yeah.
But like
For basically anyone besides Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Oop, no government name. Sorry, bud.
Jeffy B.
Jeffy B. That's what we'll call him from this point going forward.
It has to be like especially right now. Right now, I'm 25 years old. This is my drinking prime.
You're also quarantined for part of your drinking prime.
Not
But we
now.
still drank for
Not
quarantine.
now. I was
Yeah,
gonna say, can
we
you
drink
imagine
more.
getting through quarantine without drinking?
I mean, we were.
That's crazy.
We drank till we passed out every day for the first like 3 weeks of quarantine.
And I wouldn't have been able to do it without that.
See, like if we were quarantined in the summer, I could definitely do no drinking. And here's why. Because like the time in Wisconsin when we were quarantined, it was like March, April. There was no snow on the ground. We couldn't enjoy any snow sports. Mm-hmm. It wasn't warm enough to do any winter or to do any summer sports. So we're in that weird like cold spring in between in Wisconsin where you can't really do shit. You know, if we do it in the wintertime, we could definitely hit the fucking slopes, go snowboarding every fucking day.
Yeah, that's true.
Grab the snowmobiles.
We have to do it for a calendar year.
I know.
So you
I'm
have
talking about quarantine.
all of that. Okay.
But also, I think that if the three of us all agreed to go sober for some amount of money, we would probably just all pick up these ridiculous hobbies and spend all of that money trying to entertain ourselves.
So that's if
it's not economically more beneficial.
So actually, we drink because it's cheap.
That's if it's the three of us. If just one of us had to do it, we're the only person that sees that money. It would literally, because like I lose my entire social life. I don't talk to anybody.
That's
like,
just the two of us. It's not much money.
I'm talking about like my parents. I'm talking about my family. I can't see them. They're like, "What's wrong with you? Why aren't you at least having a beer or something?" When I go
see, like my parents hate that I
Sunday
drink, so
dinner.
I'd probably like finally be accepted by my family.
I don't know. I cannot imagine a life. It has to be like totally life changing for me, and like I honestly think it'd be like closer to like 5 to 10 million.
5 to 10 million
For a full year.
Dude.
From starting today.
I feel like
you've just never been poor.
I feel like, but like also once you get like through like the first couple weeks, I'm sure it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I had to stop drinking.
What is it? It takes 18 days for you to like change something or to form a new habit. If you don't drink for 18 days straight, I feel like you'd be okay for a while.
There was a time relatively recently where I had to stop drinking for like 6 weeks, and it was tough. I didn't totally
you
stop
might be an
drinking for
alcoholic.
6 weeks. About 6 weeks. That's a long ass.
Also, like, can you substitute like drinking with other drugs? Like, because is it totally sober for this money?
We're talking alcohol.
Okay, so
You
yeah.
definitely smoke.
So you could just be like high.
well, then that's a totally different loophole.
Yeah. So there you go. So now you got your 5
So
to
now
10
you got
totally
10
different.
million and you're high every day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a total.
Most people do that on, 10 grand.
Okay. Well, if we do that, then the number's a lot lower. I need some kind of
Stimulant.
But alcohol is definitely my biggest vice right now.
I mean,
Just gets me through. It's terrible.
Do you need to talk to someone?
So, second episode of Feeling Lucky, our special guest is a therapist.
Yeah.
Alcohol Anonymous.
Shout out mental health.
Yeah, I mean, if it's completely sober, I honestly think it'd be like $5 to $10 million a year, or for a year, for a full calendar year.
okay.
If not, if I can do other stuff, maybe like 100 grand, something. A couple of salaries, like
I feel like I could definitely stop drinking for a whole year for $500K.
500. 500 is a good number.
$500,000?
Yeah, because see, 100 grand isn't like
I feel like we'd use
that crazy.
Yeah.
That's not that crazy. But that's
500
like
500 grand gets you a new house.
You saying
Gets
$1
you like-
million? $1 million I could burn through like that. I could burn through that for sure in the year. I would have to burn through that the year of being sober.
Yeah. But you can literally do anything, go anywhere with $1 million. You know, you just
Okay,
couldn't
and
drink.
so that
Is it really worth it?
everywhere that I want to go,
Or you
I
just-
want to go so that I can drink at that place.
Or you invest it for that entire year, and then after, when you can drink, you take that money and then some and fucking travel.
It's tough.
Now we're thinking
Yeah.
Final answer, one more time. Producer Beef.
500K. That's the lowest. I'd go.
500K.
Lowest
Lowest
I
you
would
go
go.
is 500K.
500K.
We would go absolutely lowest. I would say lowest is 500K. If we're doing like total sobriety, I don't think I could do it for lower than 5 million. I'm not even kidding.
Apparently, I'm just a cheap date at 300K.
300. All
He just
right.
really wants that Lambo.
Yeah, I just
I
really.
just want the Lambo.
Last week I was a slut for Kit Kats. This week, slut for Lamborghinis.
See, he's gonna be pulling up to the bar in a Lambo, but he's gonna be sipping on fucking like
Yeah, right.
kitty cocktails.
They give him like the Pepsi glass. They give him the Pepsi glass because he actually has,
with a
like,
Shirley
soda.
Temple in it.
That's good stuff.
Or he's like, hey, can you just make me a club soda and put
Yeah.
lemon and lime in it so it makes it look like I'm
Or
drinking?
around Hobbs News, can you give me no duels? Give me
Yeah.
dirty duels.
Dirty
Come on,
duels.
man.
Imagine all the dirty jewels I could crush.
Oh, so many because they're non-alcoholic.
All right. Well, that was the first episode of Feeling Lucky.
How'd it feel?
You know, things went well. Hopefully, this isn't the episode that cancels us.
It could be. Who knows? I don't know, man. I had fun. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of
Again,
fun.
thank you so much to Chris and Henry. The Believe
Yes.
in Beer, one more time if you want to throw it up. Believe in Beer, that is what you need to buy if you're watching this. It is being distributed nationwide. You have to see if it's going to be near you. But they definitely ship to a lot of states. It's an awesome cause, awesome fundraiser. Support Bottle Share, support local breweries. Final thoughts, JJ.
Final thoughts. Obviously, drink local beer. Go to your local brewery. Meet some of the people that work there. Maybe the owner. Have some fun with them. I think for a lot of people, especially if you don't like socializing, it's kind of hard to break into like a local craft brewery area.
For sure.
But I mean, most of the time you go to those small breweries and like the owners are right there, and you just strike up a conversation with them or with someone that works there, and before you know it, you know people and you start to have fun with them, and it's a cool little community, and it's awesome to be drinking beer like this, and not only supporting a good cause, but just supporting amazing people within your community.
1000%. I could not agree more. Producer Beef, final
Yeah, I
thoughts.
kind of want to caveat off of that. Times are tough for everyone right now with this pandemic going on, so anything you can do to support local businesses and stimulate the economy a little bit. If you can, you know, if not, it's understandable. But if you can, if you're willing to go and support your local breweries and businesses, that'd be good. Also, shout out to MLB starting up pretty soon. I think
Sometime.
By the time
soon.
July 24th.
By the time this
Brewers
airs,
Cubs opening day.
it might have already happened.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
So I'm excited.
Milwaukee Brewers.
Shout out Milwaukee Brewers.
Can't wait for that cease and desist letter.
I think it's I think it's a 60-game season.
Okay.
So no fans. So
I just
it
can't
sucks.
wait for sports.
Oh, there's nothing like getting drunk at the ballpark. I guess we can't go.
We're not
Do you
gonna
think
be able to,
Do you
no.
think if we showed up in the parking lot and started tailgating and kick us
For
out?
the first game, I'm gonna go whenever the first game
Dude,
is.
I'll 100%. I'll walk on with a girl on my back just to be able to tailgate.
Yeah, you think you're still letting people tailgate?
I mean, I doubt that they're officially doing it, but like we could
If
do
we
it
have
until we get
masks
kicked
on, it'll
out.
probably be fun.
A mess.
A mask
We
on
should get those
tailgate.
giant like balls that you could like put people in on time, all those inflatable
Yeah.
balls, and just all of us show up just in the
Giant
parking
hamster
lot.
balls just rolling around the fucking parking lot at Miller Park. Oh yeah,
so great.
that's a good way to get kicked out.
Oh, I think if we're gonna do it big, baby. I changed my answer actually. Just a giant hamster ball is all it would take for me to go sober.
You can do anything.
Don't say that too loud because that could happen.
I'm supposed to show up in my address.
Yeah, that's it. That's the first episode in the books. Wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Whenever this gets aired, I will for sure be blogging it. Check out Hoppy Hours. We do them every Tuesday and Thursday. Check out Hops Geeks News. I'm not sure exactly what the name is, but Hoppy, Mommy, and Mash. I don't know that they've decided on it at the time that we're filming this, but they're going to be coming out with something soon. Be sure to check that out. That will, I'm sure, also be getting the blog. But yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome, thanks.
Cheers.
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 This has been a Hops News production. You can find Hops News on all your favorite podcasts and social media platforms at Hops News. Cheers.